And good morning, everybody. Happy Easter Sunday. I don't suppose there's many Easter eggs being eaten this morning here in Asia. As you all know, I love working with the energy of money. We take it so seriously. We make lots of drama around whether we've got it, whether we haven't got it, what we're going to do with it. But the truth is, in my experience of working with money, that it's a very free spirit and money loves to flow. It did not come onto this planet to be locked away in banks. I'm not saying to take your money out of banks, but what I'm saying is money is happiest when it's in flow, when it can come to you, it can go through you, and it can go to someone else. And we keep the momentum of that going around. As human beings, what we do, and I'm guilty of it too in some situations, is we try to hold on to it, we try to control it, and the truth is, it doesn't need that. And when we can let go of our need to control and we can allow money to come and do what it is available to do for us, you'll find that the money does tend to come to you and will bring in the opportunities that you're actually looking for, and opportunities that maybe are even bigger than you ever thought of. So in this time of coronavirus and all its drama, I know, or sorry, I don't know, I believe that there isn't anybody on the planet that is not being affected by this in some way, shape or form. And of course, when we're in this place of isolation, it affects our ability to earn money, to work, to receive. And if you had any stories around money before this started, you can bet your life that they're being absolutely blown up even more than before. So I can't do anything to help your money situation, but what I can do is I can bring you into a sense, a place of balance or a high vibration around money that will allow you to become, and I think, more creative, more accepting, and we'll discover what else we want right now. So using Fast Track, and I think everybody here apart from Alex is familiar with Fast Track, but what I do, Alex, is I use muscle testing, which you'll just notice me using, to access the subconscious of either the person that I'm speaking to or as a collective. And since this is being recorded, the collective will involve or include everybody who watches this video on a replay or whatever. The energy is just energy, and it's here to play. So I use muscle testing to get yes or no answers from the subconscious of the individual or the collective. And then I've got a set of cards, Fast Track cards that I've developed that are off to my left. And they represent different scenarios that could be what is in the way of you doing or achieving more of what you want. And in this case, probably money. So there are 21 cards in total, and they are on line number 1, 2, and 3. So this is what you're going to hear as we go along. Any questions? Okay, all right, so let's start. So when I sent this out, I did ask that the participants would answer one question, and the question was, what is your most worrying thought about money at this time? So let's start with Wei Ling, because she came back with an answer, and I need some clarification on this, Wei Ling. She said, holding back actions to make money and inflations. So can you just tell me what that means a little bit? For you personally.
So, yeah, I think what happens is I kind of always know what could make money, what to do, what to get into, what to do more of. but I also kind of just tend to take it too slow or just kind of procrastinate. And I kind of felt like, oh, why didn't I do that? So that's the thing. It's like not taking actions fast enough.
Okay. And in
Mm.
this current
Because I think money doesn't fall from the sky. And I think for my particular type of personality and character, my astral chart and all this, I think it's my tendency to kind of need to, do some work, put some effort, create. I'm a creator, so it's necessary for me,
Okay. And so in this, so you described how you were, all right. How are you in this situation? And the truth is, how long is coronavirus going to go on for? But maybe by the time it's finished, there'll be no money. Maybe we're worried about something that we're not even going to have in the future. And that's a great possibility.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, I'm not worried about I'm actually not worried about the coronavirus because I have enough.
No, I'm not talking about the coronavirus.
Okay.
It's okay. The coronavirus has put us all in isolation. We're working with the energy of money. All right.
Yeah.
So, is how is this situation affecting you in terms of money?
I think I've put myself in kind of like I think in the past I because it
We don't want to know about the past. You keep going back.
Because it kind of coincides
Not want to
with
know in the past. It's right now. Answer the question right now.
I think it's actually positive because I would say that it's making me think of what I'm good at, what value I can create, that I can possibly make money when I sleep, So it's actually it's good. It's making me use more of my brains, more of my talents. I'm talking to a whole new group of people, and I still have a income going, an active income. It's just that it's also making me feel like it's actually sparking kind of like an excitement to get it,
It's
to
what's
find
happening.
other ways to get it.
What did you say? It's what?
It's like sparking kind of like certain desire, excitement to get it in some other ways. And so I'm just going into a different process
Okay.
of
Okay.
obtaining. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I
So,
think it's an opportunity. Yeah.
all right. Okay. So, I think there's a lot of what's the opposite of unclarity? There's a lot of you're doing a lot of thinking, but I don't think that you are present to what's going on. I think it's about you're kind of going up here a little bit more, going into the past and projecting into the future. So let me just do some muscle testing. So this is the O-ring test. And just know that when we do this, we're not just doing it for Wei Ling. We're all going to do this together. And we all will have some of whatever it is she's speaking about. So no judgments because you're judging yourself. All right. So can I be proxy for Wei Ling? Now that holds strong. That's indicating a yes. Okay. So my name is Jazz. No, my name is Wei Ling. So now my system is operating on behalf of Wei Ling. Nothing clever about this. Anybody can learn to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is Wei Ling in alignment with a creativity more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27. So what she's actually saying consciously is what she's saying consciously, but it's not what's going on in her subconscious. And that's what Fast Track works with. Mm-hmm. Okay, is she in alignment with what she's good at more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27, 28%. So again, what she's saying consciously isn't what's going on in the subconscious.
Uh-huh.
Is she aligned with her own value more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 5, 4, 3%? So that is Wei Ling as an individual. Um, so let's see what we need to release. And can everybody keep yourself on mute until you're actually speaking, please? And that way we get less interference. So let's see what we can release using the cards that will upgrade your creativity, what you're good at, and your value of yourself. Okay. And this is all in alignment with the issue with money. So if you, money will be reflected in relationships and everything else in your life, but the focus today is about money. And when I talk about money, I'm talking about that physical stuff that we say we love and actually don't, that we spend. Physical money, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so do we go to card number 1? Line number 1. Line number 2. Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. So Alex, don't worry that you don't understand this. Don't worry. It'll all become clear. So this card represents 2 different things. So is it about separation? Yes. Is it an emotion? So this is separation for you, Wei Ling. And you have separated yourself, or you are separating yourself from your creativity, what you're good at, and the value of yourself. I mean, obviously, that's why those numbers are low. Can we know more? Is it line number 1, 2, 3? The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations, conflict. Is this internal? Is it her own? Do we need to know more? Okay, I'm just going to ask one question. Is this conflict between her ego self and her being self? Yes. Okay, so what we've got for you is you've got it all worked out in your head, as we heard, right? You can explain everything away, but there's a separation between what you know and what's actually true. What's actually true of your sensitive, spiritual, true being self, right? And that separation of your ego, and we all have this going on, is not allowing your creativity. Your creativity won't start in your mind. It will start somewhere else in your body.
Yeah.
Right. So what you need, and so your ego, or the way you think, the attention you put on your thinking brain, your thinking self, is in the way of you actually allowing your creativity, your value, and what you're good at to come through and take you where you are, let's say, destined to go. All right. Okay. So I just checked, I'm 96% on track with that. So we're going to do this release for everybody. Now, if you don't have a magnet or a crystal, Alex, just use your fingers and bring your fingers over the top of your head down to the base of your neck and repeat what we say. Everybody else, I think, knows what to do. So I'm using this is my abundance wand. It's full of gold, copper, massive quartz crystal. There's a lot of energy in this. All right, so let's do this. I fast track the release.
Fast track the release
of all internal conflicts.
Of all internal conflicts.
Between my ego self.
My ego self.
And my being self.
And my being self.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
For separating myself.
For separating myself
from my creativity,
from my creativity,
my value,
my values,
and what I'm good
and what I'm good
at my core.
at my core.
I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I forgive everyone involved.
I forgive everyone involved.
And I give myself permission to
I give myself permission
let go,
to let go,
to get out of my head
to get out of my head
and into my heart,
and into my heart,
and allow creativity to flow.
and allow creativity to flow.
It is safe
It is safe
for me to let go
for me to let go
and reconnect
and reconnect
with my heart
with my heart
now.
now.
If you don't like the word heart, you could say soul or inner self, whatever word works for you. I just felt like the right one at that time. How's that feel?
I like it very much because I feel like because I'm really mental as a person in my own development, and I love knowledge so much. I love the ideas of thoughts and what happens to that, and then because I kind of like always study a lot, knows a lot. I always felt that I have to use that, but I feel that in some levels there's definitely still quite a lot of unconscious inner emotional desires, inner stuff which probably has been buried for a while, and and sometimes I think I kind of allow myself to drift, by my thoughts or by the needs of others, and not recognizing that it's really important that it comes from what I truly desire. So it's really in line with what I was looking at this few days as well. Thank you.
And so,
Really
yeah, and that's
appreciate you
great.
for looking at that. Sorry.
Yeah, and it is great, and we've given or we've been given this time of isolation, and it's perfect for people like you and I, Wailing, is to go in, is to go, it's not happening up here anymore. It is not happening up here. The creativity is going to come from within.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you might say, oh, well, I thought of this, but that's not where it started. So it's really, really important for us in our heads, people, to get into our heart more and more. And it takes a lot of discipline because we want to run off where the knowledge is. But that, just know that that knowledge, everything that you've read, is history. And I say that with respect. It's all from the past. Creativity is about the future, and it's putting you into potential. That's where we're all needing to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Susie, let's get you on the road.
Okay.
So your current situation with the isolation money, how's that making you feel?
It's quite interesting. What happened actually is I'm not working at all, and I was working quite a bit beforehand. So I'm not working at all. I'm not making any money, and actually I feel quite relaxed. I feel quite happy about it. So I don't know what to say about it. Of course, I miss the money. That's the thing. I miss having the money, even though I don't really, there's no place to really spend it at the moment. So I don't know what to say about it really, Jazz.
All right, so here's a question for you. Do you miss having the money? Do you miss earning the money? Do you miss making the money? Do you miss being rewarded by money? What do you think?
The main thing I'd say is I miss having the money. I miss having the money. I somewhat miss making the money because I always enjoy that, the work, and also getting rewarded for the work, that kind of thing. But mostly it's that I miss having the money.
Okay. And are you being creative, creating different ways of making money or receiving money?
No, basically. I mean, I'm playing with different ideas online and doing things online with my videos that I do, which I have that this is a way eventually to make money, but it's not anything that's happening. It's not anything that's happening right now.
So that's really interesting, because what I would say to you, and I know what you say is true because I see your videos coming out, is when you do the videos, get yourself into the vibration. That video might not bring money in this moment, but all these are messages going out into the world, you know.
Yeah.
And so just keeping the vibration alive. That's why I'm doing so much of this stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
I know people don't particularly want to spend money on their stuff at the moment. They're so preoccupied with the virus and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's what I'm doing now. I'm paying it forward into the future.
Yeah.
For the greatest good of all.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's actually what I'm doing. I'm not doing nearly as much as you're doing, but that is the general idea of what I'm doing.
And I know that. I just want to bring that into, you know, into your awareness that when you do it, you know, you do it from the vibration, from that vibration.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Thank you.
So let's find out. So for Susan, is it connected to missing having money? No. Is it connected to making money? No. Is it connected? Okay, so it's connected to being rewarded. So that's what you're missing, being rewarded.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which makes sense, doesn't it?
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So this is how Fast Track is so amazing, because it's not about the details, but specific details. It's like, you need to know this about yourself. So we're going to tell you this, rather than going back into the past about when it happened. So this is very important for you to know that you are missing being rewarded with money, which of course is your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is that affecting Susan negatively more than 50, more than 40, more than 50? No, more than 40, 40 to 45, 45, 46, 47. All right. So there's a part there when it's a 7, it's always about self. So there's an idea that you might reward yourself a little bit more in some ways, and consciously. And for all to do that is to thank ourselves, to be grateful for getting through another day or whatever that is. All right. So is there something we can release for Susan that will reduce her missing being rewarded? So that 47 needs to come down. Is it line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4? Line number 4. So I've got top line. Okay. Is it the yes card? Is it resistance to change? Is it the dark? Is it the light? Is it internal, external? Can we have more information about the light? Is it a card? Is it the quality? Is it a creativity? Do we need to know more? Okay. So I got this yesterday about you, is that you are way more creative than you show. I don't know what you think about your creativity.
Yeah. I have a sense of that as well. Yeah.
So, but you're not allowing it. So you're probably being more of a follower than a leader. And so this is the light is external. So your lack of creativity is allowing you to pull back and not be as creative as you actually can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
makes
feel
sense,
right?
Jazz. Yeah, feels right. Yeah.
So this is a resistance to using your creativity, because the creativity is going to get you noticed.
Yes.
And there's a reward in that.
Yes. Great, Jazz. Great. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Let's release that. And we'll all have that to some degree. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all resistance
of all resistance
to allowing my creativity
to allowing my creativity
out into the world,
out into the world,
into the light,
into the light,
where I can be rewarded
where I can be rewarded
for who I am,
for who I am,
what I do,
what I do,
and my opinions of the world.
and my opinions of the world.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for holding my creativity back,
for holding my creativity back,
and I now choose.
and I now choose
What do you choose, Susie?
to open up myself to my creativity, allow it to shine, allow it to come out, allow it to be there, and to enjoy it.
And I give myself permission
And I give myself permission
to be rewarded
to being rewarded
for my creativity,
for my creativity,
my light.
my light.
And my willingness
And my willingness
to be out in the world
to be out in the world.
now.
No. Okay, great, Debbie. That's great.
So interesting that came up because I had that yesterday for you. Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's affected you. You've gone down from 47 to 27. So there's still more
Oh,
to
still.
come.
Oh, yeah.
And Wailing will
Okay.
do your numbers at the end. Okay, Tomo, you ready to go?
Yep, turn the mic on.
All right. Just so everybody knows, Tomo has participated in many, many, many of my money programs. And so we're old friends at this. Where do you want to go with this, Tomo?
Okay, well, as I explained before we started recording, basically I should have received in the last couple of weeks about £250,000. And everything's just been put on hold by the virus now, not by the virus, by the insane reaction to the virus by the entire world. And I'm not angry. I'm not overly emotional about it, which is very surprising, actually, given that I'm a fairly emotional, angry person. So basically, if there's anything that we can do to just expedite the completion of the contracts and everything, so that the situation resolves itself financially to my benefit, would be lovely.
Okay. And, and I'd like to pick up on what you said, because I find it very, very interesting for myself and many people that I think this situation created by coronavirus is so big that we know we can't control it, and we're not even getting unduly upset. It's like there's an energy of acceptance. It's like, well, okay, that's what it is, let go. And which I think is quite amazing. Instead of getting angry or trying to change things, I think this is just so big that we're all a bit stunned, and we're just like, well, okay, what's on the other side of this? And there's no point in getting uptight, really, because it is what it is. Okie dokie. So let's find out, is there something we can release for Tomo that will expedite? No. That will, is it connected to receiving? No. Is it connected to on hold? On hold. So is on hold affecting Tomo negatively more than 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 80 to 85, 85, 86, 87%. Wow, this is big.
Wow.
Okay, all right. So again, look at your creativity, everybody, you know, and what you are or you aren't doing in this time of isolation, and how in your subconscious you've put yourself on hold for some reason. So this is specifically for Tomo. Do we go to card number 1, line number 1, line number 2, line number 3? The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations, conflict, forgiveness. This is your card, Tomo. You get this a lot. Okay, is it forgiveness? Is it unforgiveness? Okay, so we've got some different qualities in here. I'm going to find out specifically what it is. Is it pain? Is it suffering? Is it sacrifice? Is it persecution? Is Tomo doing this to himself? Do we need to know more? Okay. Is it card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. This is big. Is it separation? Right, this is huge. So you are so on hold is you have put yourself on hold, Tomo, to sacrifice yourself and to persecute yourself to keep you from being worthy. So the on hold is your way of holding yourself back from being worthy to receive what you want. So you're talking in terms of money. This is all about money, but it will be a lot bigger than that as well. And this is affecting you 87%. So the fact that you get involved in all these huge deals is amazing. But one of the reasons many of them won't come up is because you're needing to sacrifice yourself and you are persecuting yourself so that the world cannot reward you in alignment with what you're actually worth. You need to be letting yourself to be more worthy and deserving of this stuff.
That's very interesting, actually, because I forgot to mention I'm also in the middle of a very big Petro Coke deal, which started off at 100,000 tonnes a month and is looking at going to 300,000 tonnes a month, which is personally worth about $54,000 a month to me. And everything's been going really smoothly. And last week gave them the price. I said they put it to the board. And now all of a sudden the guy's just dropped out of touch. And he's very professional, so it's very surprising. So a bit of release for that. That one come to fruition as well, you know.
And what's interesting here, and I say this to everybody as well, is the coronavirus situation gave us a reason to do this, you know, so that we can blame that. But this would have happened anyway, Tomo, until you clear the energy with yourself. And if you want to stay on the line afterwards, what I'm working with now is a lot of these lofty questions. And sometimes my lofty questions, what I want, I don't even understand it. I don't get it. But by keep doing these lofty questions, which is throwing it out there into potential, is it starts to chip away at that stuff that we won't let ourselves let go of. This is my experience, and I've had some incredible shifts. So if you can stay on the line afterwards, great. And if not, then let's set up a time where we can create together a lofty question for you, because you should be getting this stuff. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this. So everybody just think about where you put yourself on hold. Coronavirus didn't do it, you're doing it, and you're using coronavirus as a great excuse. Let's get rid of that. I fast track the release.
I fast track the release.
of all separation
of all separation
from worthy and deserving,
from worthy and deserving,
and receiving the full value
and receiving the full value
of who I am
of who I am
at my core.
at my core.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for sacrificing myself,
for sacrificing myself,
persecuting myself,
persecuting myself
in any way
in any way
and always.
and always.
It is time
It is time
for me to get out of my own way
for me to get out of my own way
and to allow myself
and to allow myself
to be worthy, deserving,
to be worthy, deserving,
and to receive.
and to receive.
And anything that I put on hold,
And anything that I put on hold,
I uncreate and destroy it.
I uncreate and destroy it,
And I replace it with
and I replace it with
creativity,
creativity,
open,
open,
I let go of my need to control.
I let go of my need to control,
I let go of my need to know.
I let go of my need to know,
I let go of my need to be on top of things.
I let go of my need to be on top of things.
I surrender
I surrender
to my soul
to myself
now.
now. And I open myself up to being willing and able to receive the flow that is naturally mine.
We have to crack this, Tomo. We're cracking this.
Mhm.
I've known Tomo for many, many years now. Okay, less than 50, less than 40, less than 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. So there's still a 7 in there, Tomo. So that's
Mhm.
about, it is about you. So let's continue. And as I say, we're gonna crack this. We are going to crack this. All right, Alex, are you ready?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So Alex said she responded like a good girl to the question, what is your most worrying thought about money? And it's that I will run out of it at one point if I reduce my hours and concentrate more on myself. Do you still think, is that what your worry is now after these few releases?
Well, that's more a future worry because actually the coronavirus was beneficial to my finances because I had to cancel my vacation, so no money going there. All my activities I do besides my work are dead, so I'm at home, and actually we're quite busy, so I do extra hours now that it's Easter. I still go to the office to work some extra hours, so there's money coming in. But the overall idea behind this was more that I'm not, this is just a money job, so I give my time for money. It's nothing I really enjoy or see myself. There's no creativity in there. Well,
wow.
So, and I've always done this, always had jobs for a period of time until I find what I'm still looking for. And so the idea is that in the future, I reduce my hours, which then of course comes with less money. And I guess I have to do it, but so that's a little bit of a worry, but.
All right. Okay. All right. Yes, I get this. So let's just see what's going on. And you know, the truth is, you're between a rock and a hard place. And coronavirus, when it's over, unless you shift this, you're going to take this with you beyond coronavirus. All right. Until you give in to your passion, your heart, whatever it is. I'm not saying you have to change your job or anything like that. If you're fighting something for the security of money, then you're never going to allow that much money into your life, because it's not what you don't want money from that stream. You want it from another stream. So you're going to have to face this sooner or later, and today's the start of that. Are you ready? Okay, let's find out. So for Alex, do we go to card number 1, line number 1, line number 2, line number 3? This is similar to, the details might be different, but the situation is similar to Tomo's. Do we go to the body card, the heart, trauma, old vibrations? So is it vibrations? No, stories. So these are stories that are going on as a vibration within you, within your subconscious, and the subconscious is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So these stories are going constantly, whether you know what they are or anything. So are they her own stories? No. Are they stories she's gathered from other people? Yes. Is it from family? No. Is it a specific age? Before she was 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 15, 16, 17. What was going on for you when you were 17?
Finished school and started going to university, which never really worked out, but
Okay.
Yeah, at 17 I was done with school.
Sorry?
At 17 I finished school and moved to my parents' house to Vienna to study.
All right. So these are stories that you've taken on for yourself from external, stories from outside that you've taken on and made your own. And it's connected to things don't work out. So if you imagine, if you've got that story running and it's running 24 hours a day, it's not going to, it doesn't stop. It will go into all areas of your life. So what you might want to consider after this call is to discover why university didn't work out. All right, because that is a story that is playing out for you right now constantly, and it's what's in the way of you, probably your passion. So it's just one story. And the vibration of that is in your legs, and legs are about what move you forward, right? Okay, so let's release that. I fast track the release.
I fast track the release.
Of all old stories.
Of all old stories.
That I am telling myself.
I'm telling myself.
Consciously and subconsciously.
Consciously and subconsciously.
Going back to the age of 17.
Going back to the age of 17.
Connected to things not working out.
Connected to things not working out.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
for doing this to me,
for doing this to me,
settling for second best, and fitting into other people's expectations
and fitting into other people's expectations
that no longer serve me and mine
that no longer serve me
and my expectations.
and my expectations.
I choose to let go,
I choose to let go,
to take off the brakes,
to take off the brakes,
and to open to my passion,
and to open to my passion,
my reason for being,
my reason for being,
and my creative self.
and my creative self.
And I open to be rewarded
And I open to be rewarded
now. That's huge. What did you feel, Alex?
I'm a little confused, but I'll see.
And that's very great. That's a great response. Confusion is a place where the mind goes when you think, when it doesn't like what's going on. And our thinking cells like to be in control all the time, don't they? To like to know everything, right? So confusion is a great place. It means that something is shifting, but your mind's gone on into hold until something more creative and fun can come through. So just be with it. And this is your first experience of fast track. It throws a lot of stuff at you, and you're receiving what everybody else is receiving as well. So just watch for the vibrations of that.
Okay, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Michelle, how lovely to see you.
Hi, thank you. Good to be here. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm absolutely excellent. Are you in Chiang Mai or are you in Bali? Where are you?
I'm in Bali.
Okay, cool. All right. So, in this time of isolation, what is that? How's that affecting you and your situation with money? What's going on?
Well, money is less than it was because I had a retreat had to be canceled for June, and my business trip to Malaysia was also canceled for April this month. So that did have a little bit of an impact, but I still have some coaching clients, and I have a student that I'm mentoring annually, thankfully. She pays me on a quarterly basis, so I just got payment from her. But yeah, I would say, my income is probably half of what it was.
And how does that make you feel?
Well, I'm not in fear, because I do have a savings that I've been saving for a rainy day, thank goodness. So I'm not in fear, but I'm more just kind of like, I don't know about the future. And there's a little bit of concern about the future. Like, I guess I'm okay for the next 6 months, honestly, but it's like, what's going to happen after 6 months? Nobody knows with this pandemic. And so it's more of a little bit of confusion and uncertainty, I think, rather than fear. It's more confusion and uncertainty, and maybe looking at how I can do things differently.
Right.
And pivot my business. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I totally get that. Yeah. The conscious mind wants to know, well, how long is it going to last? And what's it going to look like when we're on the other side of this? And I was saying at the beginning of this webinar, there might not even be any money. I can't really see us in the fifth dimension really working with dollars and pounds and rupiah and stuff. So, maybe this is the beginning of the end of money. So let's just see what's going on for Michelle.
I'm just trying to my screen there. Hold on, I'm just going to grab my wand. Okay, thank you.
All right. So Michelle has done fast track levels 1, 2, and 3. So it's always nice to connect with fast track people after a long period of time. I've just calibrated using muscle testing, Michelle, and the uncertainty is more the point of focus for this, your uncertainty. That uncertainty, of course, you know, it's not to say that there isn't confusion and there isn't concern, but it's the uncertainty that we can shift. And let's see where that comes from. Is uncertainty affecting Michelle more than 50, 60, 50 to 55, 55, 56, 57? So 57, and there's your 7. So it's all about you being more certain about yourself, going in, doing that stuff that we're all having to do, or reassuring that part of yourself. You'll know what that means, I'm sure. So let's see, do we go to card number 1? Do we go to line number 1? Line number 2. Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance. This is the 3rd time we've gone to those cards. Is it outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2? Is it separation? Okay, so this is separation. So the uncertainty is separating you from your creativity. You know, makes sense, doesn't it? Easy to say, but you know, the worry, the worry, the concern is stopping you from moving into. I'm getting that you had an idea, you had ideas before, or an idea before that you were going to action, that you weren't probably 100% certain about, and you put that on hold because of this situation. But actually, if you apply your creativity to it, then it's going to open to possibilities, or maybe different possibilities. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I did something, I've done something instead of what I was thinking of doing. I was going to run an online intuitive writing retreat, but then I did a training, a free training, or no, by donation, about doing online trainings at this time. The most important thing is to meet people's survival and their immediate needs, and this is what people are in foremost in their mind. So I did create a different online training, which I have had some signups for, focusing on health and well-being and strengthening your immune system and getting out of fear. So I have been creating, but I put aside this other project that didn't seem relevant to what's going on today because of that new information that came in from another training I did, that they were saying that's not going to really sell for, that's not going to be interesting for people because people are in survival mode. So you have to focus on that. So I put aside that other creative project.
Okay, and I'm not saying they're not right, but what I'm getting, and I'm not saying this, but what I'm getting is that you put off to one side has got way potential. So maybe point your creativity towards that as well.
Okay.
Because I think, quite honestly, many of us, we're bored. I'm bored with this thing. I don't want to do another thing about coronavirus. This is about money. It's wake up. Let's wake up and let's get creative and let's have some fun, because it's just too much on that. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but just me, I'm bored with it. It's like, let's change the focus. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is how you've separated yourself from your creativity for what you know, what you believe in. All right. I fast track the release.
Fast track the release.
Of all uncertainty.
Of all uncertainty.
Connected to my certainty.
Connected to my certainty.
And that I know.
That I know.
Connected to this pandemic.
Connected to this pandemic.
And the collective's uncertainty.
And the collective uncertainty.
Of what's next.
Of what's next.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for separating myself
for separating myself
from what I know at my core.
from what I know, my core.
And I give myself permission to let go
And I give myself permission to let go
of all uncertainty,
of all uncertainty,
confusion,
confusion,
and concern.
and concern.
I am exactly where I am supposed to be.
I am exactly where I'm supposed to be.
And I open myself
And I open myself
to do exactly what I'm supposed to do
to exactly what I'm supposed to do
in alignment with my purpose
in alignment with my purpose.
and reason for being.
And what?
Reason for being.
And reason for being.
I choose. I choose.
I choose.
Go ahead. What are you choosing, Michelle?
I choose freedom from the collective consciousness of uncertainty. I choose more joy, and I choose to create my life and my business at its greatest vision beyond my wildest imagination.
Beyond my mind. Now. Woohoo!
Woo! Thank you.
All right, so let's just say the 57, less than 20, less than 10, less than 5, 5, 6, 7. So a little bit of work to do with yourself, but amazing, fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. I just want to check in with Wei Ling's numbers because she had quite a few numbers. I want to see what's happened with that. Okay, creative was 27, more than 60, 70, 80, 89, 88, 87 with Wei Ling. Good at was 27, more than 60, more than 50, more than 40, 40 to 45, 45, 46, 47. So that's not shifted very much at all. And value of self was 3, more than 8, more than 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 80 to 85, 85, 86, 87. All right, so you've got all sevens there. 87, 47, 87. So good at is good at's where you need to focus. And it's not what you think you're good at, it's what you're good at that brings up your passion, your excitement, the feeling of good. That's where I think in this kind of isolation is, go find your passion, ignite your passion, and be good at doing that. And what I think was you do that is that everything you think is going to have more passion in it, more life, more vibrancy, rather than a kind of a what would you say, organized thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What I get a sense of, Wei Ling, is you're dulling yourself down by overthinking stuff. So the more you come in here, and while we've got the time, and is to connect with your passion and what you are good at, allowing yourself to know that might be just even being playful, playing, and see what happens there. Mm-hmm. So let's just use this to clear a last clearing for everyone.
Okay.
Card number 1, line number 1, line number 2. Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic. Is it past life? Is it more than one past life? Do we need to know more? Okay, can we release this? So this is about karmic stuff. And this is about life being hard work. And about work being hard. About money being hard to come by and all that stuff. And it's a response. It's a response of the collective that is karmic. It's been brought in from past life and brought into this life to clear it. So the gazillion beliefs, programs, and responses connected to this. So let's just see what this does for us now. I fast track the release. You want to do this with me, Wei Ling, and everybody else, please put yourself on mute. I fast track the release.
I fast track the release
Of all karmic
of all karmic
beliefs, programs, responses, and behavior patterns
responses, and behavior patterns
connected to work.
connected to work.
Work being hard, having to work hard, work being unenjoyable,
work being unenjoyable,
something that I have to do,
something that I have to do,
and any other aspects
any other aspect
that I brought in from that past life that no longer serve me
that no longer serve me
and who I am.
and who I am.
I choose to reconnect to my passion,
to reconnect to my passions,
to bring this passion into my work,
bring my passion into my work,
into my creativity,
into
my reason for being here.
into my reasons for being here.
And I allow myself to be rewarded for my creativity and passion.
Be rewarded for my creativity and passion.
Beyond my mind.
Beyond the mind.
I choose to be playful, creative, flexible and fun. And anything that does not support this, I uncreate and destroy it.
I uncreate and destroy it.
Right now. Whew. Take a deep breath. Okay, so that 47 has gone to 64, so it's creeping up. So what you're good at, is just, or what you're not allowing yourself to be good at, that's your thing, Wei Ling, to focus on over the next few days, because that's gone from 27 to 47 to 64, but it's still not shooting up there. So there's something you're not allowing or whatever. So please focus on that and let me know what you discover.
Maybe tomorrow when I see you, I can work on that further.
Maybe. All right. Okay, so I'm officially going to close this recording down.